So what I was trying to do is I want to make sure that the length that I cut on this pipe is going to be exactly the same as what I have on the other one. So I disassembled that one real quick, and then I marked some marks on here to make sure that we get it the exact same. Whenever you do yours, what you'll find is as long as you keep everything symmetrical, once you cut one length of pipe, whether it's the short one, the medium one, or long one, just cut 4 of them and it'll all work out. But this is just for display purposes. So we decided to put the T, the cross member, about somewhere in there. And so once you decide where you want it, again, take and mark it, and I take it out, and then I extend it by the insert portion. So this one I'll try to cut with a hacksaw just to show you the difference. It's just a little more difficult, but you just want something that has a really fine teeth. It doesn't have to be a hacksaw, it could be some other saw, but the smaller the teeth, the better it's going to be for you. It's just going to be a little messier. Just want to cut the burrs off. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's going to be hidden inside of the joint. So with that, then is going to be this upper portion. So we still have to make this lower portion. And just like before, you would go through the same process. You lay it out where you want it, mark it, and then cut it. So I'll just turn this 90 degrees so you can kind of see it. So again, we want that at 12 inches. You want the bottom of the wheel, and then you want the top of the pipe at 12 inches. Approximately right there. So then, here, let me turn this so I can see that piece a little better. Somewhere in here. And my little extra gauge. From that mark that I made to the top here. So that's my cut line. Hopefully it's the same height. Doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but definitely helps if it is. So yeah, so you have the height is going to be the same. Tell you what, let me get that wheel on that side there. The height's the same, and then you want the cross pieces to be the same. I'm going to put that back real quick. And to make life easier, once you get that cut, you just take it back apart, cut 2 more the exact same height. And instead of putting them short on top, long on bottom, you're going to do it reverse. Long on top, short on bottom, but they're the exact same length. No need for a tape measure. Just grab your pipe, line it up, and cut it. Two of those, and you're going to do 2 short ones. Just line it up, mark it, okay. Oops. Alright. So then you're able to do a T and a short piece. See how that starts to match that other one. Same here. So on this side, I want the short one on the bottom, and my T, and then the long one. Okay, so we have 2 side frames that are exactly the same, and what I'm going to do, turn this around, turn that around, so that you can see they're going to sit like that, with the cross member going across where those T's are. And in order to make those, since it's a square width, it's the same length wide as it is long, just take the horizontal piece out. You already have 2 of them. I pre-cut that one, so that matches. And then just need 1 more. So like I was saying before, once you cut one, just cut 4 of them. It'll make your life easier. Okay, so now you have 4. We'll put these frames back together. You'll notice some of the pipe has a yellow stripe, some of it doesn't. It doesn't matter as long as it's PVC or CPVC. That designation is just about the. I'll put that one in. That designation is just for water pipe. It's just made for drinking water, so just a different designation. Because it's, I think it allows for hot water, something like that. All right. So I need it. Okay. So get those back together. And what you're gonna do. See it start to come together now.
Very nice.
So that's the final piece. Now, obviously, you can see you can mess with it or it's not square, but obviously you want to make it square. Nothing is glued up at this point. What you want to do, try and get this right, take my hands off of it. Okay. You want to glue all of the joints, you know, everywhere the pipe inserts into one of the fittings, you want to put glue in there. And there's a bunch of different kinds, just for hobby use. You don't need anything heavy duty. Just look for PVC cement. There's going to be different types. Most of them are made by Oatly. This is just left over from another project that I was working on. They have primers also, and the primers you have to use if you're actually going to be, you know, installing a water pipe for drinking purposes. You don't need the primer in this case. It's just it'd be overkill. So I'm not going to do it because we're going to actually take this apart and ship it, but I'll show you kind of the concept or what you need to do. Like, again, it's just for hobby purposes, so it's not that big of a deal, but most of these have a little brush in them. It's just, it's a lot like rubber cement, and I think, honestly, I bet rubber cement would work just fine, but you just want to take a little dab of that, rub it around the outside of the end of the pipe, and then you would shove it into you'd seat it all the way. You only have a few seconds to work with it before it locks up. And then when you put the other end on it, so say you just glued that in. Well, now you're getting ready to glue this in. So then dab it and get a little glue on the end, shove it in there. Like I said, you only have a few seconds, but you want them to be exactly, you don't want it like that. So what I just set it down on the table to make sure it sits nice and flat. And then that way I know they're exactly in alignment with each other. Same thing when you do these pieces, you want to make sure the T's are going to point straight up, so that whenever you do the final assembly, it'll be all nice at 90-degree angles and square. The last thing is, so I told you to glue all the joints. Don't glue these. They fit, nice and tight, and you'll probably at one point need to take them off to tighten the nut, or maybe you'll change your mind and not put wheels on it. But that's it.
Very good.